Hello, everybody. Let me introduce myself for starters. My name is Bruce Smith. Uh, I've been through many things with mental illness, bipolar anxiety, depression, and everything else. I've written several books on the subject, which are also available on Amazon.com. But I'm not here to sell my books. I'm here to tell you how to go along my experience from day one to now. Uh, let's start out with the good stuff. Now, I am on, I think, four medications, which is psychotropic drugs, which is for mental illness. And years ago, back, I think we're talking about 2000, I was on, oh my God, I can't even name how many meds at one time. And thank God for the tools that were given, not only for mental health, but also for physical health. We are living a lot longer. Uh, I'll start off with this segment where I start off with mental illness. Well, I was born and raised in Dover, New Jersey. Morris County. I'm in Warren County now. And I was okay. I was very good. My father passed away in 1988. And me, my mother, and my sister, I ended up moving in with them down in Florida. And I was on a job which was very good. I had a lot of learning experiences which I'm using now, and they were very. They gave me a lot of pressure towards the end, and I started coming out with anxiety issues, depression, and also back then, which wasn't their fault, was my fault. I came down with encephalitis. That was because I went down to our pool at nighttime. I guess it was in the 90s, um, with the mosquito scare. They told us we were to go out at night to wear long sleeve shirts and pants. Even school activities outside were canceled for the time being. Well, stupid me. I went down to the pool anyway. At that time, I drank. I always took a 12 pack with me. And of course, I swam with my trunks and no shirt on. So, endless to say, I was very sick with encephalitis. So, on top of that, and the pressure that I was given at work, I actually quit work. I had to. That started out me on Social Security disability. I bet sometime in 1995, and that helped because I just couldn't work any worse. And it wasn't just because of the problems I had at work. It was mainly because of the problems with encephalitis. And I don't know if you know, but that's, I think, inflammation on the brain. And I still suffer from it from time to time. I get my tiredness, little loss of energy. And as you can tell, I stutter a little bit. My mind is a little off. But I'm good. And we moved back up here to New Jersey, me and my sister. She moved to Necon, New Jersey, which is Morris County. And I moved to Washington, New Jersey, which is Warren County. And down in Florida, the facility I was going to for my mental illness, they looked up the history where to go to. And needless to say, it was right next door. I just walked over to it. And it's Family Guidance Center in Washington, and they have one in Phillipsburg, and they're still going strong. Excuse me. I gotta get something to drink. Excuse me. Anyhow, I started going to what they call the Gateway Program, and that would entail you was there from 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock, and in the morning you would have your work activities, such as they would have I call them clients, not patients. They'd have the clients clean the just light dusting the facility, and I mainly around 10:30 we would have a break, snacks, and I would be in charge of that, taking the money and bringing the snacks out. Then in the afternoon was the best part. We had our groups, and it varies from depression, anxiety, grief, loss. addiction, alcoholism, you name it. And that was the stepping stone for me getting better. I'm going to go on for a little while because I'm getting interested in my story. Anyway, I started at a place, Better Future Self Help Center, which is exactly what it is. It's a self help center. And that was in Washington. I started out as a member. And I remember the day I started, a dear friend of mine, Glenn Barr, he's a nice painter. He had a nice mural along the kitchen wall in there. And he was signing it, and it was 2001. I don't remember the date. But they had a lot of groups there to start off with. And as time went by, a couple years later, I started getting involved. They hired me as a part-time driver, which I would go around in the afternoon. At that time, Warren County, and we closed at that time around 8:30, 9 o'clock at night, and we would take them home. So, I grew in there, and not only that, but I was asked to come on as a facilitator, and to me, that's an assistant manager, but they call it a facilitator. And I started running groups, a bipolar group mainly, and it grew and it grew. And then I wanted to become a minister. Well, I was going to this church, not Church of the Cross, I forget the name of it, I'm sorry, but it was in Washington. And I remember Pastor Tim, I remember him. I told him about that. And he said, well, why don't you go across the street, which it was, Warren County Community College, and take up a few courses and see how you do. Well, I remember the day. It was September 2005, and I looked up at the sign, "Welcome to Community College of Warren County." And my sister went to a business school. I was the first one in our entire family to go, and I'm not bragging, but to go to college. The thing that I regret, my parents were great, in my opinion, but the only thing I would like to change to be done is they didn't influence me and my sister. I forget the name of the word I want, but they didn't encourage us to move on after high school. So I was, maybe 50 years old. It was 2005, and you can do the calculations. It's 2022. So they had a writing course, English, and we were required to do for a couple times a 500-word essay. Well, my friends, that started getting to be real hard for me. But the more I did it, the more it got easier. And I was admitted to, because of depression and anxiety, very severe, to, at that time, it was called Hagedorn Hospital. And it was a state behavior institution, behavior ward. And that's where they put me on a lot of medications. But at that time, I needed it. What I'm getting at is I started writing, and they gave me paper, and oh my God, did I write. So when I came home, I was in there for 6 weeks. When I came back home to Washington, I went through that and I started writing. And later on, as going back to Better Future, I left there, and I was still with Family Guidance, and I went on to become I forget what they call it. See, my mind, I get forgetful, I'm sorry. But I would help out the patients that would go to the emergency room, and that was for psychological reasons. And if they wanted me to sit with them and talk to them, it was okay, or just get a blanket or a pillow. Anything beyond that, we weren't allowed to do without a nurse doing it. So things were really slow, and I started writing my notes from Hagedorn into a book. And now that book is published, like I said, by me, BDS Distributors, on Amazon, and it's called What is Bipolar? Putting the Pieces Together. And that's an in-depth, excuse me, I gotta get some, I get dry easy because of the oxygen. That started off my writing career. And I have many books I have written. If you want to look them up on Amazon, feel free. It'd be under my full name, Bruce Dolan, Dolan Smith. And you would see all the books I've written. And basically, the reason why I wrote those books was not, well, it helped me too. Because as I did my research, I started learning more. And I said, oh my God, boy, this is very profitable for myself. So my wishes, which I've been selling a few here and there, which is okay, and my wishes are for people to learn from me. My mistakes, which I made plenty, and then on the other hand, my improvements or how I got through the day. And there were some days, like you've heard the expression, um, and boy, my mind is forgetful. Take one day at a time. Well, my friends, sometimes you got to take 1 second at a time, and I still mean that today. Sometimes with my health, I have to take one step at a time. But I wrote a lot of books on mental health, and then spirituality, religion. I did one on the prayer Jabez, which was in 1 Chronicles 4, 9 through 10 or 11. And basically, it's a blessing prayer. But I'm going to close for now, and I'll be back at some point on this channel to tell you more about what I've learned. And that's it for now. If you want to email me, you can. It's B as in boy, D as in David, as in Sam, zip code 07882 at gmail.com. And in the comment, the subject matter, put our mental health group or some type of abbreviation or something. But anyhow, that's it for now, and I shall join you back again. God bless you. Have a nice day.